Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome along to the Royal Link Up podcast. I'm your host, the amazing Sniper Beef. How are you doing today? We are back for another episode this evening. We're recording on Friday, the 30th of May. We are 36 days away from this year's Link Up. It's getting close. It doesn't seem like too long ago. I was talking about 50 days, and we're now very much in the realm of 5 to 6 weeks away. It's getting very, very close indeed. Devastate, how are you?
I'm really, really well, thank you, Beef. Just put out a brand new TikTok, so if anyone hasn't checked out, people have been asking about some of the games that we're going to be playing at the link up. So go and check out that video, give us a follow, give us a like. Across any of our platforms, and make sure you are subscribed because we've got a lot of stuff coming your way.
Indeed, we do. Indeed, we have. Masanevra, how are you?
I'm very well with 36 days to go. Yeah, all good here, thank you.
Indeed, indeed. So, as Devastate said, if you are not subscribed or liked any of our content, please do. We really appreciate that. And any comments you've got on what we talk about today or anything you'd like to see us talking about, drop it in the comments section and we will absolutely love to hear from you. Let me give you a quick rundown on what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about quite a few games today. Kingmakers, Black Panther, X-Defiant, 7 Days to Die, Switch 2, Summer Games Fest, and we'll round off this week's podcast episode with Mass's Game of the Week for the link up. But let's kick off with Kingmakers. Mass, talk to me about it.
So Kingmakers has come to my attention on Steam. It's not actually out until the 8th of October. It's planned release. But Kingmakers is a third-person shooter. It's go back in time to a worn-torn medieval era with a vast array of a vast arsenal of modern weapons, change the course of history and save the future in this epic action strategy sandbox. Build your kingdom, grab a gun, and lead an army of thousands into massive real-time simulated battles solo or in co-op. So you're actually going into sort of medieval sort of times, but with today's weaponry or equipment. And also,
Is that the game where you can drive around in a truck and mow people down?
correct.
Ah, yeah, I saw this advertised a few months ago. It looked absolutely brilliant.
It looks totally bonkers,
Yeah.
and yeah,
I'm sorry, I'm just watching the preview video on Steam. That's hilarious.
I think
People
it's great.
people running at the dude with swords, and he's just got a gun shooting him.
I honestly, I completely forgot about that game until you sort of gave us that description. I was like, oh yeah, I've seen that. So yeah, I really want to give that a go, but that's to say, it's not out until the end of the year. Did you say?
yeah, October the 8th.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a fair way. I mean, it looks like a lot of fun. I think I don't, is it first person or is it
No, third-person shooter.
no, as in is it no, sorry, it's single player online and online co-op. Okay. No, that
I
is
assume it's like a kind of maybe it's kind of taking the idea of the zombie horde thing, but
yeah, like a
applying
Mm.
horde
it in
game, yeah.
a different way, isn't it? Because the you're going to have like guns of machines at your disposal of today, but you're going to be fighting a horde of medieval soldiers, cavalry and archers, etc. So,
Yeah. No, that does look a good one. I've added that to my wish list, so we will wait until a few months after the link up, and I'm sure we will be checking that one out for sure. Right, moving on. Talk to you about X-Defiant. So X-Defiant was a game we played quite a lot at last year's link up. It reminded us very much a little bit of sort of an up-to-date Counter-Strike to a certain degree. Really good graphics, good gameplay, good game that we played at the link quite frequently. Also reminded me a bit of what was that game that his own dumb self likes, Mass, with
Team
Must
Fortress,
Push Little Cart.
Team
Um,
Fortress.
Team
Team
Ford.
Fortress 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, reminded a lot of that as well. A game that we thoroughly enjoyed at last year's link up, and unfortunately, yeah, that is shutting down. Servers are shutting down as of the 3rd of June, so a few more days left. So I think that was a bit of a surprise when we heard about that a few months back. But yeah, that's shutting down in a few days, which is a little bit sad. I think it was a game that we quite enjoyed at
Mm.
last year's link up, and given that it was
Uh,
free as well, it was a great price too.
yeah, would definitely would have been more than happy to play that again at this year's link. But there was a
Yeah.
turning point. Something happened, didn't it? That meant that people just left in their droves, and I
Yeah.
forget what the reason was, but it wasn't able to get back.
Well, the whole game was centered around microtransactions and the paid for Game Pass and the the paid for season pass.
Yeah.
And I think that when you put out a free game with the sole intention of making your player base pay money to sort of get anywhere in the game, is always going to contribute to a negative experience generally, and you build no loyalty essentially to the game because you haven't paid anything, you're not invested, so it's easy for you to leave. I was thinking it sort of coincided with Delta Force coming out as well, and that was a better model.
Yeah.
But it's sort of the nature of the beast. It's in that industry.
It is what it is, isn't it? Moving on to some more, should we say, not great news. EA is cancelling a game and shutting down something. Devastate. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so it just seems another week goes by and another studio is axing staff. But this week we found out that EA is cancelling the Black Panther game, which was being developed by Cliffhanger Games, and they are basically shutting down the entire Cliffhanger Game studio, as well as laying off a few internal people with EA directly. But it's about 300-ish people being cut, and it just seems to be that a lot of these games that are sort of being bloated are taking too long to develop, but there's a lot of people in the last 2 years that EA have got rid of. I think off the top of my head the number seems about 2,500 that EA have got rid of. Yeah. So, I mean, it's sad for them. They had a bit of controversy earlier in the year, Cliffhanger Games, but no, ultimately, I think EA getting to the point where they're producing less and less games out of their studio, and they're just going to rely on their sole sort of core IP of games. So, EAFC football, the college football games, and sort of just there's nothing good coming out of EA at the moment. They had Star Wars last year, flop. Was it last year or the year before? Big flop there. And you go and look on that sort of the EA pass, and you actually look what you're getting. Nothing. Although looks like there's going to be a new FPS game coming from EA pretty soon. And if you imagine, and if you take EA games and you think first-person shooters, what game just comes to mind? We'll leave that in the ether, but there is a new one of those coming out. So yes, and I think that'll be out pretty soonish.
Okay. Interesting.
In the next few months, I would probably say.
All right. No, that's obviously sad times for EA, but we move. Game that we played a fair chunk of last year's Rolling Cup, 7 Days to Die. Game that I had never played before, and probably quite a few of us had never played before as well. We actually played a fair amount of it last year. It's got an update coming on Monday the 16th of June, which is the 2.0 experimental, which the public can opt into on that day. And then on Monday the 30th of June is the 2.0 stable, which essentially, if there's nothing wrong with the game, they're planning on releasing it to PCs and consoles on that date. So it almost sounds like Monday the 16th is the beta and the test. And then if everything goes well, it will launch on Monday the 30th of June, just before the link up. So I don't think we will play much of that at the link up. We may do a little bit, but I can't see us doing huge amounts of it. I think it'll very much be a case of we'll play it probably before the link up and after the link up, but probably not during, because otherwise I feel that it will be another rust type moment, won't it, Mass? Where it takes over a large portion of the link.
Yeah, I mean, we did have a dedicated day, didn't we, to it last year? But with it launching, obviously, it's obviously a major update this year. But yeah, it will. With Rust back in 2014, when we discovered that on that Thursday, if we had discovered that on the Sunday, we probably would have only played Rust for the whole 7 or 8 days, because as I said, we played Rust from that Thursday all the way through to the Sunday morning. That was all we played.
It is interesting that at the moment the game is still getting 30,000 players sort of peak during a day for a game that is that old.
Yeah,
that's decent numbers given how old the game is, for sure. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. The Switch 2 is getting USB mouse support, so this means that Vedic can play Civilization 7 on the Switch 2 and the PC. So you can play it in 2 times. He can play it twice. He can play it on the go as well if he really wants. So I can't see many people going, "Oh, I'm going to buy the Switch 2 so I can play Civ 7." But I think it will be more for a very select few games, which might be better with a mouse rather than using the joypad that comes with it. But yeah, I don't foresee Vedic getting it, unfortunately. But you never know. He loves Civ 7. Anything can happen.
I mean, I suppose the interesting thing is if you had it in a dock and you were across the room and you were just playing like a point and click game, that could be quite a nice interface. We're getting to a world where these handheld devices are getting so powerful that they are going to replace PCs and as such for a lot of people when they can plug into TVs.
Yep, definitely. All right, moving on. Summer Games Fest, not too far away, Devastate. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so it will be on the 6th of June. So it is a really big event in the games calendar. A few of the games that we played at last year's Link Up were discovered during Summer Games Fest. It is a whole week. It's a week long, about 3 or 4 days long event. But I'm probably gonna live stream Summer Games Fest. It's a long old stream, so we'll see how we go with it. But there'll be lots and lots and lots of games discovered, and hopefully some absolute gems that will be out in time for the link up, because they like to announce games that they go, this game is available in 7 days, this game's available in 14 days. So there's hopefully some absolute golden nuggets that come out of that. And that kickstarts sort of the couple of days. Now there's on the 8th of June, there is the PC gaming show as well. So there's going to be 15 world exclusives on the PC gaming show on the 8th. Now, that obviously tempts us a lot more. And it could really give us some more games to actually play during the link up. But also during that time, we've got an Xbox game showcase as well, and lots of other bits and pieces throughout the rest of the world, promoting some of the big games coming out this year. But no doubt we'll have a fallout from that, from all of those game announcements. There'll be a lot of things to discuss and talk about. But yes, I'm hopefully going to try and live stream that whole event.
Yeah, I think the fallout from that we'll definitely do probably a full episode on the podcast dedicated to the big announcements from that, for sure. Because I'm guessing that there'll be predominantly game announcements, but there might be some hardware announcements in there as well.
It will just be games, just pure games.
Okay, even better.
It is a pure games fest, and as I say, I think it might have been X-Defiant that I saw in Summer Games Fest
Possibly, yeah.
last year, and then it
Oh,
came out like the following week, and then I played it for like 3 weeks before the link up.
yeah, that
Yeah, I
rings a
remember
bell,
you,
actually.
yeah, I remember you selling the benefits of it to me because I remember then downloading it and jumping into a game and getting my butt handed to me quite quickly because it's so fast paced, isn't it?
Indeed, indeed. Anyway, moving on to our end of the podcast partition. No, well, I don't even know what the word I'm looking for is. End of the podcast piece, where Mass talks us through a game of the week.
Nice and
we're
smooth there.
Yeah, very smooth, very smooth. Where Mass is going to talk us through a game that Mass's game of the week, which he's going to talk through, which we could potentially be playing at the link up this year, or a game or this is a game that's either been recommended to by you, the viewers, or by someone that we know as well. So Mass,
Yeah.
talk us through it.
So it is recommended by two of our raw linkers, two of our all-time favorites, Vedic and Rage Quits. The game is Godsworn. It's from the developer and publisher Thunder Oak Interactive. It's on Steam. It is early access at the moment. You can get the demo or you can buy the game at $24.99. Godsworn is a classic mythological RTS experience, an epic fantasy retelling of the Baltic Crusades, where pagan gods and their tribes clash against crusaders and armies of heaven. Choose a divine hero, rally worshippers alongside mythical creatures, and smite the unworthy. It's not got a tremendous amount of, well, it's still got 600 or so reviews, so it's not a huge amount, but those reviews are very positive. The game's been out in early access since last year in March, so they both were very they've been playing it because it's got co-op game modes as well, and they were enjoying themselves earlier in the week on this. So this has definitely got potential. I suppose the only sticking point again might be the price, but we do have a Steam sale coming up, so who knows?
Yeah,
So yeah.
I mean, $24.99. It's not a ideal price, particularly for a game that's in early access. Yeah, it's been out for what, just over a year and a bit. It looks all right. It has a little bit of Age of
Well,
Empires feel to it to a certain degree in terms of the
well,
look and feel.
I think it's heavily influenced by World of Warcraft 3. That's
Yeah,
the influence. It's that art. It's Warcraft RTS series. That's where they've obviously been inspired significantly. So yeah.
no, I would definitely agree. I would definitely agree. But one to keep an eye out on in the Steam sale. Do we know when the Steam sale is? Yeah, or not?
We
Anyone
did
seen
have
any
da-
rumblings of it?
I'm sure we do have dates if it's at the end of
End of June, I think.
It's usually end of
June.
June. Yeah, because it's
Yeah.
usually either during the link up or
Yeah,
like the week
June.
before,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's June the 26th, running till July the 10th. So it will be just before it will. So the link itself is on the gaming starts on the 6th to 6th to the 12th. So we will have the sale going on.
Nice, right in the middle of it. Well, I think that pretty much wraps up this episode of the podcast. As usual, if there's anything that you'd like us to talk about in future podcasts, drop a comment. Or if you've got any comments on this week's episode of the podcast, do let us know. Also, if you would love it if you would like or subscribe wherever you are watching or listening on. Have I missed anything else, gentlemen?
Yeah,
No.
any games at all that you have to recommend that we haven't mentioned before? Any golden nuggets that you may have found or spotted that we could be playing at this year's Raw Link, then please do let us know. That'd be greatly appreciated.
Indeed. Well, we will leave it there. Until next time, I've been the Amazing Sniper Beef.
I've been devastated.
And I've been Mass and Ivry. Tofu.
Catch you later, peeps. Goodbye.
Laters.